start. Welcome, dear data specialists, dear policy decision maker, dear researchers, data stewards, colleagues from Bulgaria. My name is Ivan Marić. I'm director of University Computing Center, University of Zagreb, called SRCE, National E-Infrastructure Organization in Croatia. Let me first introduce my organization in a few sentences, just to give you an impression what is SRCE and how E-infrastructure in Croatia is organized. So SRCE is a national E-infrastructure organization. We are 55-year-old this year, so very old organization. We started in the 70s and beginning of 70s last century with acquiring first mainframe in this part of the Europe, in Southeastern Europe, Univac, and then for the last 55 years we are devoted to the vision of the very beginning vision, influencing of IT technology, especially computer, on university. So basically, over the last 20-25 years, we are building national e-infrastructure for the Republic of Croatia, for the academic and research community strictly. So we are private. We have private sector, public research and education. SRCE is a state-owned company, so basically we are funded through budget and formally part of one university, University of Zagreb. In the 70s, that was the only university in Croatia. After Croatia became independent, then now we have 9 public universities and several private universities, 20 plus 25 research institutes. So basically we are providing building services for public higher education and research institution in Croatia. How we build it? Well, basically 23 years ago, we, as a part of E-Infrastructure Reflection Group, we were pioneering and setting the E-Infrastructure principle based on e-commons. This means that we use the economy of size. So for the country like Croatia, we figure out that the best way, most economical and suitable way was to build this e-infrastructure for national. So basically providing services to each institution. At that time, Croatian system was not federated in a way that each university connect with each other and form some kind of network, but each institutions from the faculty level to research institute level was building this connection together. This infrastructure that is run by SRCE network part is run by Croatian Academic Research Network, consists of many ICT components. Basically, we are running operating data centers, we are operating computing infrastructure, including supercomputers, we are operating academical cloud. In Croatia, we are coordinating the Identity Federation, AI Federation, EduROM, and then we build data layer or data infrastructure, and on top of that, we add many national e-services or information services that can be used by faculties, universities, research institutes, but primarily for the purpose of following the processes of studying research. And all these services are given for free and provided to every student, professors, researchers in Croatia that have AI account. So in this complex system that is run by SRCE, one piece is very important. Today it is data component, and of course in line with the computing. It's obvious that at that time we recognized the importance of data a long time ago. So DABAR is our abbreviation. It's a beaver. We have these funny names for our services based on animals. DABAR is one of them, and this is Digital Academy Repository Catch-all System established launched in 2015, so 11 years ago. At that time, primary focus was not so much on research data, but scholarly publication. There was a clear need of some kind of repository infrastructure because the Croatian legislation required institution to publish student thesis and doctoral dissertation in so-called public internet data repositories of universities and national library, but no infrastructure at that time existed. Only few institutions, few faculties had their own repositories, and even these faced significant challenges in maintaining their own technical infrastructure. So consequently and immediately, the immediate and most practical starting point was to build a repository system that will catch them all, nationwide repository system that could preserve and share this thesis and dissertation, but designed to enable future extensions or scaling to other types of digital output from higher end research institutions in Croatia. So all subsequent functionalities that was developed on DABAR were built on top of this foundation. At that time, also, 11 years ago, the community of repository experts, consisting mostly on repository administrators or managers, existing repositories, as I said, there were only few, 5 to 6 institutional repositories, was brought together by SRCE and actively involved in what we start description and development process of building new nationwide repository system, meaning ensuring by this bringing these people together, we ensure that the practical knowledge of real world institutions requirements steer the development of our building of our national repository system. So this was the beginning, and then DABAR today is basically the only repository system, nationwide repository system. We start very early, so we solve this problem of different repository system on institution. We don't have it at all. So this is the first and only catch-all repository system in European countries and worldwide probably that was built. We celebrate 10 years last year. SRCE, as I said, is responsible for coordinating many of infrastructure components, including DABAR. Ministry of Science, Higher Education, and Youth basically is the policy making or research policy making institution. Additionally, funds some new developments of DABAR that we have in year from year. So SRCE, having this computing storage infrastructure and all the other components, also assures the infrastructure for DABAR. So basically, we have a safe backup storing system procedures. We have a free data center in Zagreb, plus free in other cities in Croatia. So we assure that all these infrastructure data layers, like data services, are in-house, and this is on our own resources. This means that we have some kind of digital sovereignty long before digital sovereignty was topic in Europe. Among SRCE and ministry, other shareholders are basically coming from research institutes. We have a memorandum of understanding, collaboration. This is very important in this community. Collaboration is all. So basically, if you have a good collaboration, good platform collaboration, then you can feed in all the requirements for communication. You can send the messages out. So we have so kind MOU, which we signed by all institutions in Croatia. But basically, there is a subgroup core of this institution with the most experiences, enthusiasm. Always in a community, large community, you find pioneers, and you can form some kind of group that will lead the future progress of your platform. Representatives, these are mostly librarians. They participate in our SRCE or in defining the roadmap of DABAR as infrastructure. This is how we how we govern all components of infrastructure. Data components have their governing model where institutions are actively involved. And then we have 10 working groups, community working groups. This is per specific topic, and they are developing, they are participating in development and solving specific issue. For example, we have a working group for metadata, for publication, research data, interoperability, long-term preservation, etc. And this is how universities, research institute, through this working group, can propose, steer development of a national repository system, DABAR. As I said, DABAR, we don't have any problem with ensuring compatibility with different repository institutional systems because DABAR is the catch-all repository system, and there is no institution in Croatia that have its own installation of different technology. So by providing this single centrally maintained platform, initially this was Icelandora, based on Fedora repository and Drupal front end. But last year in 2025, Drupal layer was replaced with the custom in-house solution developed by SRCE, which then continued to Fedora repository. All metadata schemes and specific functionalities are agreed upon these institutions. There is on national level inside working group. So all 185 repositories at the moment, 185 institutional repositories mostly, use the same metadata definition as well as shared control vocabularies. This is very important because this common description enable the provision of high quality central services such as central search engine, and the central OAI PMH interface for all 185 repositories. There is one challenge that we're facing now, probably not the only one, and this is the limited adoption of the infrastructure for thematical repositories. As you're aware, in Croatia, like in Bulgaria, there is many ERICs, European Research Infrastructure Consortium, like CESDA, Clarin, Darija, and there is a coordinators, institutions inside our countries. Basically, they tend to use tools that are aligned with those of their European counterpart. So basically, yes, institutions that are part of, I don't know, Clarin, ERIC in Croatia, they use the thematical repository that is not on DABAR. This at the end could pose some challenges to when establishing, for example, unified national search service. But this is the challenge that we are facing in EOSC also. When we all be part of EOSC with our national nodes, then of course one of these things will be I want to search all Bulgarian or Croatian data space, regardless if it's on my infrastructure or European. Now the question that number 4 is how to enforce, encourage metadata quality across institutions. As I said, metadata descriptions and control vocabularies are nationally agreed, uniformly across all repositories, and this is a community process. This is why you need community, why you need champions, and this is gathering community on one. At the end, sometimes it's very hard to coordinate community. Yeah, this is challenging, but in the end, the final results is the final fruit is okay. So we get optimal results, description that reflects the need of the whole community, because it's not that you've been accused, this is what you invent, but then you enter the community in the process of definition, and then you say, okay, this is the community, this is what you need. Subset of this metadata, which is very large metadata description, is mandatory, and of course subject to validation. Very important aspect of DABAR or of SRCE, having all this in-house, is basically interoperability with other components, with other systems that we are building. For example, repository system DABAR is integrated with the national CRIS system, current research information system, and CRIS, national CRIS system that is operated by SRCE, and like any other CRIS system, it serves as authoritative source evidence system, repository of metadata elements such as institutions, organizational units, projects, persons, events, publication, etc. So basically, we force institutional managers to enter all records, researchers to enter data into national CRIS system and then pull this data to DABAR. So there is no possibility of manual entry into DABAR of, for example, projects, name of the project. Second example is we connect DABAR with our national service that covers the higher education information system. It's called ISFO. And this system contains validated data about thesis and dissertations, follow the studying of students. And this means that student or person which is storing thesis and dissertation can pull existing, not just pull, but also validate information without needing to manually enter them. The same thing is with the journal articles. You know about Hrčak. Hrčak is our portal of scientific and professional journals. DABAR is connected to Hrčak and can pull metadata and files from them. All this makes the process of storing content to repository efficient and error-prone. You know that the worst nightmare is basically the garbage data, garbage, and then cleaning this garbage is very. So this is something that it's very easy to have this interoperability of all of these systems are in-house, and basically our teams, engineering teams that are taking care of different systems are sitting door to door. So basically, this is one, and then at the end, the thing is that there is a single point of entry of data for repository or for researcher. The nightmare would be if researcher or a professor or student enter the same information or same data in all information systems, and this is when the user will hate you very much. On skills and roles. Most critical for DABAR, well, I will start with the SRCE. SRCE, our model is providing centralized technical infrastructure as a repository, as a service. So obviously that today SRCE had almost 180 engineers, mostly IT engineers, but also e-science, ranging from data center experts to high performance computing experts to data experts, etc. It's very tough to get talents because of the money, salaries, of course, like anywhere in Europe. This is the problem we have. We have to. It's not just data specialists dealing with DABAR. It's involved DevOps, system engineers, network engineers, etc. All these people are involved in building this complex infrastructure. At the institutional, there is because the responsibility of content in the repositories is at the institutional level. We'll always relay. We just provide repository as a service. And we from time to time through this collaboration feel what is the feeling on institution. Basically, we all want that the researcher is happy at the end of the day, because if the researcher have extra work to done, then they will hate all services that we provide. So basically, we cannot be happy with the situation currently because there is a lack of support to researcher in the form of data steward. Mainly all this job is done by librarians who are here for the decades ago, and librarians for publication, but librarians and data stewards are two different issues, as you know. This is concerning research data, and we have a problem. Publications are okay because it's old librarian job. Research data is issue. And we didn't even mention research software, and this is something that we will face in the near future. Well, to address all this, of course, SRCE offer training, generic training through self-paced online courses. We are organizing events designed to encourage discussion and foster knowledge exchange, etc., etc. And at the end of this interview, what lessons we learned and what we should do differently? Well, nothing. We did everything perfect, of course not. My personal philosophy was don't look beyond, just look ahead. But from time to time, we have to recalculate. You have to think about. As I said, after 10 years, we did last year a big job, basically changing the architecture, technical architecture of DABAR. And we started 10 years ago with a open source solution that was eventually during the time overgrowth. If we could return 10 years ago, probably we will choose to build it in-house from the start, not choosing it. But after 10 years, we realized that, again, we have a large discussion with the community, and we choose how to, we always, if we want to do something, we always ask for proof of the community. And then it took us 2 years almost to change completely the technical. We think our first plan was 1 year, 1.5 years, and we extend this plan because in the meantime, many original engineers went out because they was on one platform. You have to find technical person for another platform, etc., etc. But this is constant challenging of a coordinator of this huge technical platform. And even as I said, community, it's my philosophy that SRCE is a community. SRCE have to, this organization that run nationwide platforms for like DABAR is like a data platform, they have to live with the community. They have to search for a new way of governing or a new way of establishing digital bridges with the community. And this is the flow of information from one to another side. This is in our construction that people are really related or tied to institution they work on. It's very tough, but still, it's a challenge you can work. And then if we could return 10 years ago, maybe 10 working group was probably an overkill for SRCE to coordinate. You know, when you start something, then you open the new frontier and you think there are so many experts in the community that can cover 10 working groups, but at the end of the day, pretty much this is a closed group of people, and they should be used not extensively because they hate you, and they should be used wise. And on the other side, from our side as a coordinator, coordinating too many working group is perhaps something that we should rationalize in the future. Okay, dear Bulgarian friend, that was a short overview of one single components of Croatian infrastructure, data infrastructure. I hope it will help you in your discussion, and wish you fruitful and meaningful roundtable tomorrow.